And we're live. Hey everybody. It's Maplebrook Season 2. I am Soups the keeper, that's what it's called in this one. I can never remember. And I am joined of course by Josh up there who plays Connor, a vampire. I am Swissy up there who plays West, and Stacy, a magic nerd and a detective nerd. And Boca over there who plays Adva, a
Can't believe you're
a
Brady
god
bunching
among
us right
women.
Amazing.
I wish I remembered any amount of the Brady Bunch theme song.
I was just thinking that same thing.
Monday, Tuesday, happy days. Wait, no. That's Happy
Wait, that's
Day.
Brady Bunch? I was gonna say.
No, it's Happy Days.
That's Happy Day.
That was the joke. It was a different beloved sitcom from the 80s and 90s or whatever.
Sorry, I need to real quick. Does somebody want to recap for me real quick while I take care of this?
Not it.
Bet.
Okay.
So are you gonna do it?
What am I betting on?
Chief. I know what I did last week. I helped Pacific.
I mean, I
West
can
help
go for
Pacific,
it. I just have a policy
clean up the
against trying
shed.
to remember things while I'm playing Connor, because it gets me more in character if I don't remember things as well.
Ah, true. The Swissy technique.
The Swiss sneak. Alright, so what happened was we were in the first week, basically, of winter break at the college, and we smash cut it around a lot. If I remember all the storylines properly, we had Stacy Veers, who was being talked to by some hoity-toity piece of shit whose name I didn't catch, who runs the
Grant.
school radio show.
Grant.
Grant. Who runs the school's radio show, and he was complaining that someone trashed their recording room and the radio broadcast got cut early. And then Swissy as his other character, West Wordsworth, was dealing with his sister Pacific showing up to basically be like, hey, my girlfriend Lizzie wants to see where I live, but I live in a cabin in the woods with Paul Bunyan. Do you have another plan? And then they didn't have another plan, so they're like, we should just go to the cabin. And they went to the cabin, said hi to Paul Bunyan.
We did have another plan.
And then, well, you had a bad plan, and I'm not, I'm skipping over it. And then they went to the cabin, they said hi to Paul Bunyan, and then the blonde bitch from the cult that Adva's in, again, no names, she shows back up and is being weird and snooping around, and she briefly gets trapped by West using his new magical abilities until she escapes by casting her own magic abilities. And then Pacific's like, well, we gotta move the cabin. And I think that's basically where we left them off.
Yep.
Adva was speaking to the headmistress, Miss Gabrielle, and Sam, who in my mind looks like an Assassin's Creed character.
I have described him as stuff. That's my fault.
Okay. Like, I just realized that when I put it together.
Yeah, he's basically
he's Ezio.
Yeah.
He's Desmond.
You got it.
He's Desmond.
He's all of them.
Desmond Miles.
Ouch.
And
Desmond
they were
Miles.
talking.
Ezio.
I'll be honest, I didn't catch exactly what they're talking about. Something about summoning old ones or gods, a trifecta of some kind. I don't know. It sounded bad. And in the meanwhile, Connor Caldwin von Helsing was on the hunt for Becky Davis, who knew too much. So he had a master plan, which fell apart because and therefore Connor didn't come up with even a bad lie to tell initially. So I just sort of flailed about for a bit, and then eventually freaked her out, revealed most of the secrets of the town, and then knocked her out. And of course, now, as I left the library, Stacy Meyer, who's the Stacy that is dating Adva, saw me carrying,
Unofficially.
or will be, saw me carrying the body of Becky Davis, and so I flash stepped and knocked her out. And now I'm carrying 2 unconscious people up to the headmistress's office so she can fix everything.
Yeah, that's definitely what's gonna happen. Oh, hold up.
I believe that's largely what I recall happening.
So I'm not going to stack those small guy. Instead, what I'm going to do is give Adva +1 on her next 2 rolls.
Assuming I get one.
We'll see. So yeah, Josh is pretty much right. Anything that he didn't mention, hopefully the people who it's relevant to wrote down. So I guess we're just gonna pick up there. The headmistress, Diane, has essentially just wrapped up her conversation with you, Adva, and Sam is also in the room. And I don't know, Connor, how do you approach the door? Do you knock on it? Do you kick it in?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Kick it in! I wasn't raised in a barn. I will do the thing that you do when you're carrying groceries and sort of, I kind of like have to hit it with my elbow because my hands are full. So I kind of
That's what they hear.
sort of bump into the door in almost a knock.
All right. Diane looks at the door and goes, "Oh, I guess somebody else is here to see me. Come in."
Oh, I can't really. My hands are full. If someone could grab the door.
Oh God, it's Connor.
I wonder what Connor's doing here.
I get up.
It's me, Connor.
I get up to open the door. I pull it to the side. I don't see Connor.
Yeah, you open the other side of the double door.
No, I pulled it to the. Wait.
Oh,
which one does
I
the
see.
double
They
door
open
swing?
inwards.
Yeah, I was grabbing it and pulling it in, so I don't see him.
Yeah, you are behind the
like
door.
behind the door.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm pulling it in.
All right, then
She's opening the door but stepping aside so she doesn't see you.
So she's
is what
So
she's
I'm
saying.
not, so I'm not
Okay.
like in your way. On
Sure.
account of you saying.
I stroll in, carrying 2 unconscious people. And I go, sweet, got a door oh, hey, it's Adva. Hey, what's up?
Connor, what the hell?
What the hell?
What the fuck are you doing?
Carrying unconscious people?
Why are you carrying unconscious people into my office? Are they okay?
Oh,
What
I
happened?
knocked them out.
Why
Well, they're
did you knock them out?
It's a bit of a long
Shut the door.
story.
I shut
Shut the door, put them on the couch, and sit down.
Okay. Connor strolls over to the couch and sets them down.
Ooh.
What are the other chairs in the room?
There's a chair that Adva was sitting in. There's a chair that Sam is sitting in. There's Diane's chair, which he has angrily stood up from.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that there's another chair other than the couch that could probably sit 3 people.
Okay. So I also sit on the couch, I guess?
I mean, you could stand. I guess it's
I
up
was
to
told
you,
to sit. Connor looks around at
You
the
know
couch
what?
at the sitting situation, goes, so do I sit
I mean,
you know what, I got this. And I pop a squat on the floor, crisscross applesaucing my legs.
Great.
Adva stands behind the couch, looking incredibly upset.
That's amazing.
What are you doing?
Oh, hey, Sam. Long time.
Leave me out of this.
Sitting currently on the floor.
Why did you bring 2 unconscious women into my office after knocking them out, apparently?
Ah, yes. So that's the story. Okay, so do you remember way back when
Do you
we
remember?
had the theater incident where the theater burned down and we had to like get people out of the theater? Remember the theater burned down?
The theater didn't burn down.
Oh.
And you also
Did not
didn't
burn
mind
down?
wipe anybody after that.
No, but this is
Oh, I
where
see.
the story starts.
Yes, sorry, my
Yeah.
bad. I
Yeah.
don't remember the theater burning down. I know it was condemned.
Did it not burn down? Oh, it's condemned. There was a fire at some point. Regardless, during the building being destroyed by an imp, a large beam began to fall from the ceiling, and my good friend Wes Wordsworth, you know Wes Wordsworth,
I'm
he
familiar.
stopped it with his magic. And Becky Davis here, and I gestured to one of the unconscious people. She saw him use magic to stop a massive beam, and so she went to my other good friend, Stacy Veers, who is, yes, you probably know, detective reporter on the campus, and said as much. And I found out through playing Realm of Kings, which is an action critically acclaimed
She's sitting
action
down with her head like in her
MMORPG.
hands at this point.
And it turns out, I found out that one of my guildmates said that people were doing weird, that she saw something weird happen at a theater, and she was getting someone to look into it. So I found out that Becky Davis here was in my guild and had asked Stacy, keep messing that up, Stacy Veers, to look into how a small scrawny, I mean West is not built per se, stopped without touching a beam in the air. And that would have unraveled into a lot of things, I think. So I decided to find Becky and attempt to lie to her, which went poorly. So then I figured I would just knock her out and bring her up here so you could do the, Men in Black mind wipe thing. And then also Stacy, got it this time, Meyer, was in the library when I knocked out Becky. So then I knocked out Stacy.
Okay.
She really just saw me knock out a person though, so she might not need to get like mind wiped because she just might think that I'm like a hooligan.
Okay.
Eva's
Okay.
also rubbing her temples.
Okay.
You see what I have to
I do the thing where I kind of does the thing where he's like grabbing his feet and kind of rocking back a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of talking right now. I will start with this. If this is something you were concerned about months ago when that theater accident happened, why are you just now bringing this to my attention?
Because you're busy?
I am not so
And I
busy.
thought I could handle it? I'll be honest, I didn't think about it.
Clearly, you can handle it.
Okay, well, let's start.
Knocking out women has been pretty good for me so far. I mean, that's how we got Stacy. Not this Stacy, the other Stacy.
Okay.
One with the hat. Knocked her
my
out too.
God.
That's how we recruited her.
Oh my goddess. Okay. Let's start with the practical, because I feel like that's something that might make sense to you.
Okay.
If the memories you wanted me to alter are from long enough ago that she has acted upon them for about a month and a half at this point, probably longer, that's too far back for me to do anything about it without it doing some sort of permanent damage to her brain.
Oh. Well,
Because,
that would be bad.
see, I can't just go in and pick and choose, right? If I get rid of some memories, any memories that might have happened after that point, with the boys from your first incident with the siren, it was easy because it was only about like a week's worth of stuff, and they just like thought they had like been partying or something. From what it sounds like, it has easily been 2 months, and she's like gone about her life and asked somebody else to get involved in this already. Even if that person is now on your side, it's still like formative memories at this point. It's too ingrained in there for me to do anything about it without hurting her. And I will not do that.
Well,
Second of all,
dang.
I don't know why you thought that knocking out 2 women and bringing them into my office to have their mind erased was a good idea.
Well, the second one wasn't a plan, part of the plan. That was sort of a spur of the moment.
Regardless,
First one wasn't necessarily part of the plan either.
like you, Connor, You are an adult, yes? I think.
Yeah.
And you understand
Legally.
that I am also an adult with, like, a job and stuff? I'm an
Yes.
authority figure, in fact.
Yes.
You assaulted 2 women and brought them into my office.
Well, yeah, but it's for like the greater good of the whole being, like keeping the secret.
Okay. Alright. Everybody out. I will deal with this. In the future, Connor, don't do this.
Adva wants to bring something up.
Do it.
She said, actually
Yes.
there is. So, she motions to Stacy. I don't think you should wipe Stacy's mind. She trips over her words for a second. I'm going to tell her.
Okay.
Now just make. Also, I feel like I can't be complicit in you wiping my to-be girlfriend's mind. That's just too much of a violation of bodily autonomy, and I can't not let myself be complicit in that.
Well, I mean, I still don't think she needs her memory wiped. She just saw me punching a person. I more brought her to just not leave her in being the library knocked out.
Fine.
No, I'll just go. I'll just and Connor just sort of slinks out the door.
I'm sorry you had to see me like this.
No, listen. I would have done a lot worse.
That is why I am in charge of the school and not you.
I'm trying to remember, have I successfully banished Connor before?
I think so.
I probably would have just, banished him again. Which doesn't always work. So should I?
You can... If you want to take Stacy back to her room, that's fine. When Becky wakes up, I'll do my best to find out what happened and explain it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's everything, right?
Sam is like, I feel like I walked into the middle of something.
I think the something walked into the middle of you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, and then he teleports away.
Yeah. I was about to say must be nice, but I can literally.
You can literally also do that.
That would actually probably solve a lot of problems. Actually, people won't have to see me carrying an unconscious person through the entire school.
Well, there's not that many people around. Connor snuck over here with 2 unconscious people.
Yeah, but he can go fast.
That's true, I suppose. Connor can just go like Mach 5 anytime he wants, I guess. That's true.
It doesn't really help with not being detected.
It does not.
Unless I begin blurring
You're not
my
the
form.
Flash. You're fast, but you can't like vibrate through a wall or whatever.
Alive.
At least not yet. Anyway, yeah. So that happened.
Well, that just happened.
All right.
So let me
So
get
what
this
you're telling me-
straight.
Let me get this straight.
God damn it.
I'm in a place I wouldn't exactly call Minnesota.
Minnesotan.
Okay, so in the meantime, Stacy, back in your office. This has all been
Stacy
happening
Prime.
simultaneously. Stacy, back in your office.
Blissfully unaware that other women are getting knocked out in the school somewhere.
They'll
very
get
moment.
up again.
You're never
They
going to
get
keep them
knocked
down.
out, but they get up again.
Okay, so Yeah, Stacy. Grant finally comes back and tosses a pack of candy cigarettes on your desk. There. Now, will you come investigate or not?
She does this.
Okay. She
picks up the cigarettes, holds them up next to her ear, pops them open, takes one out, puts it in her mouth, pretends to light it, by the way.
Does she just have like a small flashlight or something?
Yes.
Good.
She just clicks it a couple times, pockets it, stuffs the candy cigarettes back away, drags, takes it out of her mouth.
Blows nothing because it's candy.
I'll take your case.
Good? I thought we had already agreed on that. Grant makes a face that, as if to say, how is this my best option?
Just a couple more questions before we get this thing underway.
Okay. Go
so,
ahead.
Let's see. So you mentioned that... Sorry, let me get my notes back up here. She scrambles into her computer.
Swissy's actually fucking taking notes.
For this specifically.
Like case notes.
Oh, where did I put it? God damn it.
Grant is feeling less and less sure of his decision by the moment.
This frozen time. Shut the fuck up.
No, you didn't say pause. Sorry.
I'm sorry. So you mentioned that Ray returned the next morning. What about Renee? Was she there when you got there?
To the best of my knowledge, she's currently in the infirmary, or at least that's the last place I saw her.
In the infirmary, huh? Okay. Who else is part of the broadcast club?
Everybody else that's in the broadcast club is home for the winter. They're the only 3 that stayed.
So that would be, you're saying the only 3 as in Renee, David, and Ray, right?
Actually, I think David might have gone home early today. His last shift was tonight before going home for winter break.
Gotcha. And just so I have the timeline of things right, around 6 p.m., you left the broadcast room. Everything was peachy. David and Ray were still there. Yes. She looks up from her notes.
Right.
Then around 3 a.m., the broadcast cuts out during the witching hour segment. Love that segment.
Of course you would. He doesn't say that. That was me. I was editorializing for him. Yes, correct.
And around 8 a.m., you come back to find it all in shambles.
Yes. That is exactly right.
All right. I'll get cracking. Just so you know, if any extra troubles come up, it may incur extra costs. You know what I'm talking about, right?
He looks just annoyed with you at this point and goes, I'll pay whatever it takes.
Yeah. Just whenever you get my Slurpee, it's red and blue mix. Just so you know. If extra costs are incurred.
I'm going to go now.
Bye-bye. I mean...
He leaves.
Walk on the side of the law, always.
He leaves.
She got oddly dramatic there for a second.
I don't know why. I'm really not sure.
Dave is on something.
He storms off in a huff. Those candy cigarettes, man, they're getting to her head.
She's got to lay off the packs.
All right, so she it's not a typewriter, by the way, but I want to note for the stream because I don't think I mentioned it on stream. She is typing on a laptop, but she's using a typewriter font.
Good.
Does she make clicking noises, or has she installed something to do it?
She brings
a
a
mechanical keyboard.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
Mechanical keyboard built into the laptop, or she plug in a different mechanical keyboard to the laptop?
I like your brain, Josh. It's plugged in to
that
the
second
laptop.
one's better.
Excellent. Yeah, well, because then it can look like a typewriter keyboard.
Yeah. And she makes the hand motion, too, as she types, of moving it back over. even though there's nothing there. It's just air.
She like shoves the top of the laptop every time she hits enter.
Even better. So this is, we're getting real wacky here, right? But even better, even better, she fucking types on the typewriter ass looking keyboard. Then she has a little like like a hotel service bell.
Mm-hmm. That she fucking
she hits
dings
ding on it when
She
moves
manually
it over.
dings it.
She dings it, moves it over,
Incredible.
and keeps typing. Yeah, you got it.
All right,
That's all that. Anyway, so she's gonna get up and first and foremost, she's gonna go check on. She wants to check on Renee in the infirmary. But
Okay.
if you have anything between then and now,
nope. I think
Okay.
as you're walking the halls, I think you see a dejected Connor kind of shambling around on your way to the infirmary.
or it's not Renee. Her name's not Renee. It's
Renee
it?
Knight.
It is Renee.
He's
I wrote her
actively
name
pouting.
I wrote her name as also Ray for some reason. except
Connor's
with
like
no
walking
P.
around, kicking at invisible dust.
Just kicking rocks that aren't
Like he
there.
just, yeah, like he was just picked last for a dodgeball team.
Sad day.
I think the
Okay,
ball's
so-
in your court, Swissy, because you.
Sorry,
you could
I
choose to
was-
interact or not with Connor if you want.
No, I was
but-
reading back over my notes.
I don't think
when-
Swissy fully realized the situation yet.
No, I was reading back over my notes while you were talking. I apologize.
I said
I run into
I said
Connor in the hallways, right?
Yes, Connor is dejectedly wandering the hallways like a sad puppy on your way to the infirmary.
Stacy is holding her printed out notes here, so she's just kind of like poring over them, and she just glances up.
I
and,
bump into Stacy and knock her notes everywhere by
I'm
accident.
sad. It's fine. She falls over. Her notes go everywhere, and her hat falls off, and it sucks.
Yep.
Connor sees the paper. Connor immediately hits her with an the moment they make contact, because we are in Minnesota, and then he sees the notes fly over, and he just goes, "I can't do anything right today."
Yeah,
And
what
he
gave you
begins-
that clue, huh?
He begins sadly picking up pages, but like really dramatically and slowly.
Stacy lets him just take care of that.
And he
since she's
keeps
the one who knocked
deeply
him over.
sighing.
Okay. And she picks up her hat, dusts it off, puts it back on, gives him one look over, and she, You went to the headmistress, didn't you?
Yeah, I tried to
went with-
talk to
You went
Becky.
with two unconscious bodies, didn't you?
How did?
Wait,
there's no,
Wait,
there's
shut
no
up.
way
There's
you
no
would
went
fucking
with
want
an
way
to
to
unconscious
get there,
person,
though.
did you? No, I'm sorry. You went with an unconscious person, didn't you?
No.
She raises an eyebrow.
I went with two.
What was that?
I went with two, okay?
Two?
Stacy Meyer saw me carry the body. That
the
laugh wasn't
body?
good. The body of Becky David. Listen, I couldn't figure out a lie to tell Becky.
You've been playing fucking Realm of Kings with this friend of yours for so long, and now she's just a body? I didn't say that in character. I'm saying that
No.
as Swissy. I'm befuddled by the body statement. It's fine.
She was in. Listen, I tracked Becky to the library,
Uh-huh.
and she didn't fall for my ploy to just ask her nicely to
Which is
get her
weird because
memory
you're so
wipes.
charming.
I know. But so I knocked her out. Well, she pepper sprayed me first. I would like to point out. Probably because I told her everything about the town and its secrets.
Wow, you're really just letting it fly out now, huh?
It was a mind wipe.
Let one extra person into the
Men in
group
Black.
and you just kind of fall apart, huh?
What?
What?
Was that a what at me or at Stacy?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I have no idea what that is supposed to be sequencing from or toward. Yeah. So Connor would also have no idea, I guess, what you mean by that.
I too am confused.
No,
Yeah.
okay. When I said let one
just
person in the group and the whole
blankly
thing
stares
falls
at
apart,
you.
huh?
Okay.
I basically meant by that you let the secrets into one person and you just can't stop yourself.
Well, no, I told her because she was gonna mind wipe her.
So why did it matter if you told her or not?
It doesn't.
You know
I
what?
didn't
I
say
have
it
to
did.
go. She takes the
It was
papers
just part
from
of
him
the.
and moves along.
I begin following.
And he's right behind me, isn't he? She's not like moving in a hurry, so she just kind of slows down, realizing he's not going anywhere.
He continues explaining, moving on from the comment he still does not understand. Yeah.
Okay, so what happened
so-
when you got there then?
Well, yeah. So I had to knock out Stacy Meyer because she saw me carrying Becky, and then I brought them both to the headmistress, and Adva and Sam were there. You remember Sam? Have you met Sam? Do you know Sam?
I don't think she's met Sam.
I don't think you know Sam. You ever played Assassin's Creed?
There's a few Sams that go here, I'm sure. And
Well, no, this
there's
Sam's
about
part
to
of
be
a
one
cult.
more.
which Assassin's Creed, by the way? She asked.
Any with Desmond, so 1, 2, 3, Brotherhood,
Revelations.
Revelations. I always forget about that one because the only thing they did was add a hook blade. This isn't important.
Kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Still wonder why
he
they
was
killed Desmond
there.
so early.
And then,
Keeps me
yeah,
up
it was
at night.
really a weird low point from this for the series. But I mean, the more recent direction has been kind of nice with the Origins, which came out recently.
I was gonna
Since
say,
it's
what
2019.
year did that come out?
It came out in like 18 or 19, I think.
18.
Okay, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Assassin's
With
Creed
last
Origins
year's
exists.
release of Assassin's Creed Origins. I love that Bayek of Siwa guy.
Yeah,
haven't
kind of
finished
weird how
it
they
yet.
ended that one though.
It's really weird how they. We should hang out more, Stacy. But
She
not
rolls
no
her eyes.
to my thing. Oh, but to
I
my
mean, you
thing
don't see
again.
it. You're behind me. Fuck you.
Oh, do I? I thought we were talking. Okay, got it. Then I don't see it.
Now you're walking and talking.
Walk in,
Yeah.
walk in the talk in the walk. And then I went in there, and then Adva seemed mad at me. I'm not sure why. I don't think I've done
This wouldn't be
anything
like
to her.
common knowledge, like the thing between them, right?
I don't think
No,
so.
because they haven't even figured it out yet.
No, Connor has no idea. I mean, Adva's
Stacy also
normally
has no
like.
idea then.
Yeah, because
Adva's
it's
always
only in
like.
the letter from Stacy to Adva. That Adva
Yeah,
forgot about.
I don't know that y'all
The
have ever
Stacys
like
don't
seen
have a
them
hive
hanging
mind.
out. Yeah, no.
Oh,
No.
actually, wait.
At
Stacy
least this
would know
Stacy's
because-
not part of the hive mind. Let's
No,
not get ahead of ourselves.
Swissy, your Stacy would know because Adva specifically talked to her and Nigel.
Oh,
yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
So when Connor says that, like, I don't know why Adva was so mad. It clicks in
Adva would be
Stacy's
mad.
head, and she's like, "Oh, you fucked up."
Well, yeah, I know that, but I don't know why. I get
So,
why
like-
the headmistress was mad at me because she's turns out not cool with me assaulting students on campus for some reason. Also, apparently her mind powers are annoying to work with when it's been a few months. So, important note for us to all keep in mind. Can't
Maybe you
just
should keep in
can't
mind.
just count on the mind wipe for everything, can we?
Is that the only thing she said? Because it feels like there was something else.
What? No, she said that I should be an adult and not knock people out on campus.
Yeah, that's
And
the
that-
important one,
or-
not really the few months thing, I would say.
I said that part first.
I missed it. I'm sorry. I'm really losing. it.
Connor's really confused. Unless you want to
Listen,
retcon
Stacey's
that and
pouring
have
over her papers.
Stacy know.
You know, I wrote in my notes, I'm realizing suddenly that Diane is not angry, just disappointed, but I think I ignored that part and leaned more towards angry.
You did.
Did you put your name in the goblet of fire.
Yeah.
Real.
Dumbledore said calmly. Yeah,
Real Dumbledore said calmly here. Oops. That's fine. I just delete that line and it never happened.
Rip.
yeah. But yeah, I get why she's mad though, and now I know about the mind, how the mind powers work a little more. So next time I'll not. No, I won't. I will. How do you get someone to go to the place you want to take? Maybe I'll just ask the headmistress first.
She is the headmistress. I'm pretty sure she can get any student here to come to her office.
That'd be really convenient, actually.
That's
All
literally.
right. So this
what
was
the
a
intercom
learning
is for.
experience for all of us. Excellent. But I don't get what Adva seemed peeved about something.
Oh yeah, that's where
Maybe
you
she
really
was
fucked
just,
up.
like,
But that's not my place
hungry.
to tell.
Sometimes I get angry when I'm hungry. Maybe she needed like a pretzel stick or something.
At this point, she stopped trying to
Several.
cut in with words of sense and just keeps walking.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
in the interim you have made it to the hallway that the infirmary is in. It's like 2 doors down from you.
So wait, do you know why Adva's mad at me?
Idea.
Okay, well, what is it?
She just shakes her head. Not my place.
Girl stuff.
You wouldn't understand.
Okay.
Just one of those, you know, girl stuff.
My sister is a girl.
Congratulations.
You make it to the infirmary door.
Oh, you sick?
No, I'm just looking into something real quick.
Oh, about what?
Oh, there's a weird incident that happened with the broadcast club last night. Their broadcast went out around 3 a.m. and then Grant, you know Grant?
Maybe. He's probably a business
leader of the-
student.
He leads the broadcast club.
Business.
Business student over in, class.
You'd think Grant. Describe his personality in 1 or 2 words.
Anyway, not important. He comes back in 8 a.m., right? And he finds the place in shambles. Wants me to look into it. So
shambolic.
that's where we're at. I guess it left one of the broadcast people in the infirmary here. So
Do you think
just
it's
give
like
it a quick look-see.
Do you think it's like a mundane problem or like our side hustle problem?
That
main
has
hustle.
yet to be.
My
I don't
hustle.
have any reason to think it's one or the other right now, right?
No, I don't think so.
Because I haven't seen anything. Yeah,
Yeah, you haven't
that's
checked
yet to be
you haven't
determined.
checked
But
out
I'll give you a ring.
You haven't checked out the scene of the crime.
I haven't been
yet.
anywhere. I literally just
Yeah.
got the fucking.
Yeah, you're coming here first.
Well,
to
it
get a
just
witness
it
statement,
just landed on my
presumably.
desk today, so it's still a work in progress. But I've got your number.
Excellent. Well then,
She
guide
says.
us, Sherlock. I'll be your Watson.
She sighs
You have
dejectedly.
acquired
You-
sidekick.
You will get no work done.
Yeah, because a moment ago she said something along the lines of "I'll keep you posted," in the hopes that he would walk away, and then he says that,
You
and she just
fool.
kind of like slinks.
You fool. Connor needs a win today. He's gonna take this.
Oh fuck! Just ignore your other friends for a month, then bust into one. Into
Connor
the
only
presence of one
partially-
with their girlfriend.
Connor only kind of knows what he did wrong.
Yeah.
He's like what like you trying to explain something complex to a toddler or a dog, and they don't fully get it. They know you're
It's
mad.
like I've made one friend mad, so I'm gonna go be friends with this other person for today.
I'll talk to my other friend today.
Okay, but if she's not in good shape, I'm just gonna leave her be and visit her later. So just don't go full hog on the Watson thing, okay? She puts her hand on the door and waits for an answer before she even thinks about opening it.
All right, I'm hang on, give me 1 second. I'm considering if Connor. No, he wouldn't have a trilby on him.
No,
not
that
one
would
at
be
home, though.
absurd.
You should
It's,
ask if she has a spare.
All right. Connor is looks there and goes, "So do I get like a? Can I get like a hat then?"
This does make her light up a little bit, and she reaches into her trench coat,
Pulls
pulls out a little black bowler hat.
Excellent. Connor's eyes light up,
And it is little. It is
and
a
he
small hat.
perches it on the top of his head.
for stowing away.
Really good.
Small sized.
And he says, "All right then, Sherlock."
She instantly deflates and regrets this immediately.
Are we not doing British?
No, it's more of a noir thing, I guess.
Oh, so we're talking like this.
Yeah, you got it.
It was a dark and cloudy night. Connor's pantomiming talking into a tape recorder.
Okay, we saved that for the actual, like case reports, though. Like.
Oh, you have to write a report?
Well, I do. Well, I don't
Oh,
have
okay.
to. I just. Anyway, not important.
I just
She opens
like
the door
to.
and heads in.
Okay. You get into the infirmary. It looks pretty clean in here for the most part. I mean, other than the nurse who is just kind of like sitting behind her desk waiting for something to happen. She's just like, on call here basically. There's nobody else in here other than there is one bed, one of the several beds. One bed has a woman on it. And she is all bandaged up on one side, or actually on both arms, pretty bandaged up. And she's got a bunch of stuff on her face also. And the nurse looks up and goes, "Oh, can I help you?"
Hi, sorry to bother. We're here to see if we can talk to Renee or if she's in, a condition to talk. She looks at the person on the bed and is like,
The nurse kind of looks over Renee and goes, "You good to talk?" And you good, dog? No, the nurse is like,
good?
Yeah.
Are you
You
good to
good?
talk? And Renee's like, "Yeah, I can talk." "What's up?" And
Oh.
she kind of leans up on the bed and looks in your direction, and you can see that she, like, her face is real fucked up.
Oh.
She
goodness.
looks
Are you
like
okay?
she looks like she will be fine, but she's got a lot of little like cuts.
A lot of cuts. Gotcha.
The bigger ones have been bandaged, but the smaller ones just have kind of been dressed for the most part, because the nurse's other option was wrap her entire face in bandages.
Right. But her arms are entirely wrapped, right?
Yes.
Stacy is, by the way,
Yep.
typing on her phone.
Oh, good.
All throughout, investigative moments.
Right. Yes. Excellent.
Just have that in the back of your mind that she's usually just typing on her phone, not even looking at it, but
Good.
that's how good she is.
Touch typing. Yep.
Yeah.
Can I help you? Oh, you're Stacy, right? One of them.
Yep, that's Stacy Veers. I run the school newspaper, and I do a PI business on the side.
Oh, I see.
Assistant.
The only
She-
thing that
she
came
kinda
through
forgot
was
Connor was
assistant,
there.
so I assume Connor just said I'm her assistant.
Yeah, but in a British accent that didn't come through.
I
Oh,
see.
there
Great.
Oh, oi, Gav.
And this is Connor. He's
Why we're not
She
doing
looks at
British?
him. She looks back. A trainee.
I'm an intern.
Well, what can I do for you? I guess. Sorry, wrong voice. I guess if you're talking to me, you're probably looking into what happened last night. Did Grant talk to you?
Yeah, real concern too. He was,
I know what
really
he's.
worried about you.
I know what he's like.
Okay, yeah, he was a total sleaze about it, but yeah, we talked.
All right. Well, what do you want to know? I can let you know what I know.
Stacy
Why don't
pulls up a seat.
you? Why don't you? There's a roll about this.
Oh,
right?
actually, roll for it.
Yeah, there's a roll about this. Hold on.
Investigate a mystery.
I think so. Probably. That sounds correct.
Let me make sure I don't have anything for that before I do it.
Yeah, investigate a mystery would be the thing. We'll see. Like, the basics of the case, I mean, she would probably tell you basically what Grant told you. But if you want to get something deeper
Hey,
than
so I do actually have a thing here. So I get
Oh.
+1 for Investigative Mystery because obviously I assume Renee is an academic because she goes to a school.
Sure. Why
We're
not?
academics.
So that's one of my groups of contacts that I get +1 to Investigative Mystery for.
She's
I'm an
actually.
academic.
Let me double check your list here. She's actually also a conspiracy theorist. So yeah, this works.
Oh, nice. Wonderful. Amazing.
Well, I mean, she runs a
Then
late
maybe,
she runs a late night radio program about like cryptids and shit.
Oh, okay. So here's the actual part about the contacts. There's supposed to be a cost involved, I guess, determined by you if there's like a price or cost or something like that of some kind.
It just says there may be a small cost involved.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So, for this,
Okay.
because she was actively injured by something, I will let the cost be she lets somebody know about it.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead, roll with your
Make
+1.
sure. And that's sharp for Investigative Mystery, right?
I just had it open. Yes.
Usually, that's the default at least.
Okay, I saw there's so in the sheet it says there's one that's a flexible alternative. I have no idea what that is. Oh, it's from Tome of Mysteries. Not gonna worry about it.
Yep. Sharp.
All right. Shop +1.
That's a 10.
Baba Booey.
On a 10, I believe you hold 2.
I've got the questions list here, and
Yep.
yeah. So this I didn't notice this handy thing was at the top of the sheet, by the way, but it's called Hunter Moves reference, and it has literally
Ah.
everything you need.
That's
It's
great.
awesome. So I'm looking at it all now. Roll plus sharp on a 10+, hold 2. Awesome. So I guess my first question. Let me read over these real quick.
What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it
Yeah.
do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
Okay. So
There are
what
some of
exactly
these that
happened last
obviously
night?
she wouldn't know the answer to, but
Yeah.
So
So what exactly
what was the
happened?
creature?
what can hurt it? So yeah, what happened here is I assume what you're going for?
Yes.
Well, so as far as I can remember, I was on my show. The fucking let me scroll back up in my notes to remember what
I don't know
the
what the
show was
actual
called.
show was called. Thanks for.
Yeah, I fucking don't remember either. Well, I was doing the witching hour on the overnight show with me, Renee Knight, and
Is it spelled overnight with a K?
yes,
Okay.
of course it is, you fool. I was doing my late night show overnight with me, Renee Knight, and I had just turned over to the witching hour segment, and I had taken a couple of calls, and then I got this call where all I heard on the end was a woman. I didn't really catch what she said, but as soon as she talked, there was this weird static noise, and then I heard like unholy whispering, I guess is how I would describe it, and then the lights in the booth turn out, and my monitor exploded, which is, she kind of like motions her arms how this happened. Luckily, I was wearing a thick sweatshirt, or I might have been more hurt, but... Ugh. This feels deeply unpleasant. I have a significant amount of painkillers in my system.
Wow. Well, you're a real trooper for going, hanging in there. Sorry for what happened.
Doing my best.
That's weird.
I guess the good
That's a
news...
weird one.
I guess the good news is that I can take a short vacation on this vacation. I was planning on running my broadcasts most of the day, but not like this, and not without, functioning audio equipment.
Yeah, that'll do it, won't it? Well, before I go, just
Yeah,
another
one more question.
Freeze.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yep. It's like you do have another question before you just leave.
Let's see. She wouldn't know what creature it is. She wouldn't know what it can do. Wait, she's a conspiracy theorist though. So like
yes.
I can let me phrase what sort of creature is it? Not expecting a concrete answer, but I'll ask you get around. So I assume we're like in the same square, with this whole conspiracy theorist kind of thing.
Sure.
Maybe we exchange rumors from time to time.
She is a mystery enthusiast, I will say.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'd probably talk from time to time.
Sure.
So you've been around the block when it comes to, certain theories and everything. Have you heard of anything like this before?
Well, other than that So when I heard that weird whispering, I almost felt some sort of like weird hum, like from the headphones I was using. And then I sort of, it's hard to say. I thought I saw like a flash of something before the lights went out. But I don't know. Maybe it's something that like has some kind of control over electricity. Why she kind of like leans into you and is like, "Why do you think this is some sort of something? Do you think this is some sort of like cryptid?"
Stacy just leans back in a manner she tries to pass off as joking. Well, I could tell you, but I'd have to have my friend here knock you out.
Connor raises his fists and worriedly looks at Stacy.
That's a joke. It's a joke.
He puts his fists back down.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. Is there anything we can do for you? You need anything?
No, if this is something weird, keep me posted. I wanna be on the ground floor of it. Oh, and
okay, I'll let you know what I can. Okay.
Oh, and regardless of what Grant says, Ray didn't do it. He's a sweet guy.
She types in her notes. Ray didn't do it.
He was doing his best to help me out while we sort of dealt with the explosion in my face and upper body.
I gotcha. Is he the one that brought you in?
Yeah, I think so, actually. It's been a while. I was sort of just like in theater and I thought I could I wasn't much of a performer. I was more of a backstage person, but Ray is sort of the person that convinced me that maybe I should try a radio show since I'm not good in front of people.
Soups, I meant brought into the infirmary.
Oh. In that case, yeah, he was the one that brought me down here. Ignore all of that. Ignore all that bullshit I just made up.
Sounds like well, you can say it again here in a second. Sounds like a pretty good friend.
Yeah, he's the guy that actually got me into radio. I was sort of a backstage person in the local theater stuff a while back, but he sort of convinced me to give radio a try. It's a lot of fun, and nobody really bothers you late at night, except for when your phone explodes.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of your segment. I listen to it on the regular.
Oh, well, that's so sweet. Always nice to meet a fan.
But they had like turned all the radios off because of TV. It's like in a song.
The radio
right?
star.
Oh, the
Shouldn't you be dead?
Yes.
Connor says this.
Oh, like the song, yeah. That's a pretty good joke.
You're welcome.
Connor's eyes flip back and forth. Yeah.
All right. Well,
got you with that one.
We'll leave you to rest. We've got some other stuff to look into. Just hang in there and get better, okay?
Will do. She tries to like give you a little salute, but her arm won't move far enough, and she kind of winces.
Well, yeah. Stacy turns to leave, and then
she tries to give her a thumbs up, and then also can't because her arm is chopped up. She's like, "Yep, I'll be here."
Turns to leave, stops at the door.
Okay.
Just one more thing.
Oh boy.
Just these things that bothering me.
She turns around, pulls a Sharpie out, and signs her name on one of her arm bandages. It's not a cast, so it kind of like looks smudgy and bleeds through, but the sentiment's there.
Yeah. All right. Great. She's like, okay, thanks.
Wait, is that part of being a detective? Is it so you know who you've talked to?
Well, just the thing you do. Shut up and she ushers Connor out of the room with herself.
No, that's really smart. I forget a lot.
Connor does not.
Connor begins signing everybody he talks to.
He's gonna get another talking.
Connor gets an idea.
Oh no!
You've created a monster.
Connor gets into graffiti.
All right. So
Nobody wants to see Connor no more.
What's your next play here?
Fuck! It's really the Stacy episode, huh? Okay.
Yeah, the last two episodes
had
have been
other
the
things.
everyone else episodes.
Fair enough. I'm
What
just
are you
gonna go
talking
ahead
about?
and
I haven't
check
had
off
an
the visit Renee on my list here. Where's the strike through on Google Drive? I'm gonna cry.
I would say
Where's it at?
I would
It's
say
like
maybe
Control S, I
about
think.
at this point, like West and Pacific have probably made it back to campus on Pacific's motorcycle, or sorry,
Right.
snowmobile.
So while we're
he-
walking to,
in theory, he could be around if you wanted. Adva,
Yeah.
I mean, you were carrying Stacy back to her room. You're probably there by now.
Yeah, probably. It's
that's
not
fair.
that far.
While we're walking to, so where I want to go is the broadcast club itself and take a look around.
Yep, do it.
Unless it's like a super danger zone, which you wouldn't be able to clue me in on anyway. But it's
I
fine.
wouldn't fucking tell you that.
No, I know.
Unless it's not what I'm supposed to do.
No. I meant like if it's
leans into the
I'm
DM.
just being dumb. On the way there, she turns to Connor. You might want to go ahead and shoot the other two a text. I do think there is something weird going on here.
The other two. Oh, our squad, the Delta Dragons. Yeah, I'll help the group chat. You're in the group chat.
Wait,
right?
there's a group chat?
Yeah, I don't know how it works since West's phone is like 1,000,000 years old, but we.
So I know
somehow got
how it
together.
works actually, because I have an employee that has an old ass phone, and they're in a group chat with
Oh,
us.
great.
And the way it comes
Excellent.
through,
Is terrible.
just so you know, Connor the character.
Yes. No, Connor has no idea. This
yeah,
would only
I
be
still
for
wanna
me.
know.
The
I still
player.
well,
wanna
yeah, for
know.
you. Well, no, just so you know how West texts probably come through.
Oh, got it.
Emojis come through generally
As
as
blocks?
words.
Oh, excellent.
Great.
So it'll generally say like sob or cool or thumbs up. And then if they like something, so that's something they can apparently do from their older phones, it'll say liked, and then in quotes will be your entire message.
Yeah, I do have that happen to me. That's why that does that, huh?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh.
It's not always on old phones. Sometimes phones just don't have the functionality to accept likes. So
it
even a
just
smartphone
tells
could
you
like
about
something,
it.
it'll do that. Yeah.
Incredible.
So it's interesting.
Oh,
But,
Fampy, Connor
that's
would have
how it
lost
comes
so
through.
much money in crypto. But it's 2019, so it's probably still underground enough that he has no idea.
Rip.
Because he's dumb. He's not what we call a cutting edge innovator.
No, he mostly plays video
But as
games
soon as
and
crypto
assaults
becomes
women.
that's not supposed to be a character trait. He's an equal opportunity knocking people outer.
That's true. It's like Batman. The hammer of justice
Yeah.
is unisex.
His unisex. As soon as like there's like the big crypto boom in world, Connor's gonna buy the worst coins you've ever heard of.
Excellent. Great.
Like we're talking sub Dogecoin shit coin.
Kanye West.
It's gonna be terrible. He's gonna buy anyone that he thinks is funny.
Great. Incredible.
Anyways,
yeah,
sorry.
so you shoot West and Stacy a tech, or no, sorry, Stacy's in front of
Well,
you.
hang on. We were.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
he
need
just
to
asked,
add
"Are
her.
you in the group chat?" And she
Yes.
said, "There's a group chat."
Yeah, the Delta Dragons thing. It's kind of annoying though, because every time West responds or like likes something, I don't know how he does that, but it like, I mean, you'll see. It floods the whole thing. Admin
Oh,
mostly
really?
just sends thumbs ups or thumbs downs. One time I think she sent just
Oh,
a
that means
picture
all
of a
Wes
house.
gets whenever he says something to Adva is just in response,
The
thumbs
words
down
thumbs
or thumbs
down.
up. Amazing.
I mean, whatever you are about to text now, you are only gonna get the letter K back.
Oh yeah.
She's not
So-
in a good mood.
Well, first thing, add me to the group chat.
Yeah. What's
if
your
you don't mind.
what's your phone number?
She says her phone number.
I'd enter her phone number.
Yep.
And then I shoot a quick text and I go, sup DD, which is of course an abbreviation for Delta
Delta
Dragons.
Dragons.
I don't type that part. Added Stacy Veers to the group chat. Bunch of excited emojis, like way too many excited emojis.
So Westbrook just says excited, 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 excited.
It's like a mix though. It's like the hundreds, a couple of thumbs ups and stuff. So it looks like crap on West's phone, but he
Nice.
sends all those, and then in another series of texts explains she's working on, she's got a case about a weird attack on the radio broadcast room, and then he sends a bunch of spooky emojis like the cold face and like ghosts.
Shocked, shocked, shocked. Ghost,
Shocked,
ghost,
shocked,
ghost. Don't ever use the fire emoji or else he'll think there's an emergency. You'll just send fire, 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 and West will rush to the manor.
And we're going, and then he looks up from texting. We're going where now?
Oh,
The
Sorry.
studio.
back to me.
Broadcast Club studio.
Oh, we're going to the broadcast studio right now. Just see the lay of the land
Putting
and all
up
that.
broadcast studio, tongue out emoji, smiley face, radio emoji that no one's ever used.
Great. Is that what you send? All of that?
Yes.
Great. You all receive that. West's text is much worse than everyone else's, but
Yeah.
so yeah. West, you are on your way back to your room after Pacific has dropped you off and told you to stay safe. When your phone buzzes and you receive this text message. Adva, I don't know if you've gone back to your room or if you're just like sitting on Stacy's bed and waiting, or
I took her back to my room. I put her
okay.
on.
You
Yes,
took her back to your
do
room.
I
Got
have a
it.
couch? I feel like I probably have a couch.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I
One of
put
those
her
shitty
there.
dorm couches.
Yeah, I put her there.
I
and
know
I'm
those.
just- I don't know those. I've never been in a dorm in my life, and I'm basically. I guess I'm just like cleaning, doing the dishes or whatever until she wakes up because I have to talk with her.
Right.
Yeah, Mulligan, you can. I mostly use Facebook Messenger, and you can add lots of react. You can add any emoji reaction to someone's post. I do it a lot. When I don't want to fully type out that something's funny, slap a laughing emote on there, on that
Crying,
bad
laughing
boy.
emoji, crying, laughing emoji.
Though we probably wouldn't have all that functionality because this probably would have to be SMS and not like a messenger thing because there's no way West's phone gets the messenger app.
No, there's not a chance.
Anyways.
So yeah,
Yeah,
we're
one day Wes
doing
should just get
dishes,
a
and
new phone.
you also received this text message.
I received the text message. I kind of glare at Connor's name. I type in the letter K, lowercase, hit send, put it back in my pocket, and go back to what I was doing.
Great.
About the point that Adva sends the K, West is getting back to his dorm, gets the K, sees the K, looks above it, and just winces.
It must be really hard for West to decipher any of Connor's messages because about half of them are just like completely irrelevant words.
He'll spend a hot minute deciphering that.
Sure. So yeah.
And then probably his next course of action is just going to be to like, I don't know.
Well-
Actually, it'd be nice if he responded at all. Hang on.
Yeah, I mean you could do that. It's up to you.
Yeah, he sends back. Yeah, he'll send back. Oh, okay. Are you looking into it yourself, or you need some backup?
Connor just sends back, I'm Watson, detective emoji, thinking emoji, the monocle emoji for some reason.
I'm Watson, detective thinking monocle.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
So do you want me to meet you there?
Connor looks at Stacy for direction.
And Stacy, you
I
can
think
also
looks at the
see
group
these
chat.
messages now that you're in the group chat.
Yeah, she's looking at him. Does he have an old phone?
Oh yeah, ancient. It's like a brick.
That explains his confusion. Hey, yeah, the more hands on this, probably the better.
Couldn't hurt,
She-
certainly.
She sends that in the group chat.
All right.
Excellent.
And then you respond to yourself, because you're West also.
And then Wes says, because to him it just or no, it is Stacy's number. He has her number. He was probably the first one to get it because he was talking to her before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi,
Wes
Stacy.
says new phone. Who dis?
I'll be there in a bit.
All right. So if you want, I can just bustle you all to the studio, and you can meet up there at the same time.
Yeah, that works. We don't run into anybody else.
Adva probably
relevant on
not.
the way,
I
do we?
assume is not on
She's
this one.
not. She has more important things to do than some stupid mystery.
We don't run into anyone else along the way like Ray, David, whoever.
Mysteries are an entire job.
Okay.
I have more important things to deal with.
Yeah, Adva's going through some character development.
God damn
stuff.
it! There was one question I forgot. It's fine.
But
We'll
you
figure
only
it out
had
later.
you only
There's
got
other
2
people
of
I can
them.
figure it out from. I know. Well, this one was like a general question. That
I
had
see.
Less to do with that.
All right.
I
So
can find it
you
out from
you
somebody else.
arrive at the studio. The door's open. Yeah. You arrive at the studio. The door's open. And West
arrives at the
West
same time.
Yeah,
and
West
we're
rolls
all
around
here.
the corner.
Two
sees the
of
two of
me
you.
and one of you. Ugh. It's one of Connor against all of me.
I like those odds.
Oh, hey, West. Hi, Stacy. I hate this.
Oh no.
Let's see. This is your cross
gotta
to
You
bear,
did
my man.
this.
I know.
No one made you do this.
You gotta split. You gotta split
Nice.
your brains.
Yeah.
Left
Nice
side
jacket,
and
Connor.
right.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it pairs nicely with my new hat. On loan.
He
from
looks at the hat,
Stacy.
amazed that that's the second thing he noticed.
Yeah, I had to tour around. Oh, also, I should let you
you're
know.
Watson.
I'm Watson. He smiles. Also, I should let you know, Adva's very mad at me.
Okay.
The
I don't
headmistress
wanna-
also mad at me.
Oh God.
The less
hold
you
on.
know, the
Wait,
better.
What did you? Okay. Yeah, you're probably right on that one. How's? I guess now's not the
Stacey's
time. But
not
have you
gonna
been?
out him?
Haven't really heard anything from you.
Did Steven say hold up for something or?
I'm
what?
holding up for chat. You guys can keep talking.
Oh, is it? Perfect.
Yeah.
So what was the last thing you said, Swissy? Sorry.
Stacy has gone on into the room, by the way, while this is happening, because I don't want to talk as her in between West at the moment.
That's fine.
West said, "So have you been? It's been a minute.
It's been
Everything going all right?"
I'm Connor. Everything's
I hope this isn't somebody's
Great
first
for
stream. It must be very
Connor.
confusing.
everything's cool for. I think I think I messed up recently. I'll tell you, West. We can get into the sordid details later once I figure out what's fully going on. But up till then, it's been nice. Yeah. I stopped getting my allowance.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah. All my bills stopped getting paid. So. Gotta figure that one out at some point.
Did
Kinda
Connor
forgotten
ever tell
about
people that
that.
his mom was sus?
I
Yes.
think he did.
Okay.
He just said, "I suspect my mother" or something.
I am
at some
suspicious
Does
of
point.
that have
my
anything
mother.
to do with the the whole mom thing?
I mean, it would have to do something with one or both of my parents. They stopped paying Benson even. I mean, who stops paying Benson? Also,
Your parents, apparently.
Is Pacific here or is she?
No, she went back to the woods on her
She's-
Yeah,
snowmobile.
she went back.
To move the house.
Ah,
She
perfect.
got to
Did
move the
I
house, that's
see
it.
her on the snowmobile at any point?
I don't think so.
Got it.
I think you've been inside this.
Because you were talking with Stacy when they got back.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
I'm just wondering on that front. Yeah, I have to talk to Lizzie about it, but hey, I mean, we're not here to talk about budgets. We're here to
So-
solve an attack.
So
Oh,
while
okay,
while the
yeah.
two of you are having that conversation, I will describe what Stacy sees and hears and smells and everything when she gets into the room. So when
She's
you
annoying.
when you enter the club room, there's cables all over the fucking place. Like this place is probably not built to regulation, but it looks like nothing looks disrupted per se. It just looks kind of messy, as if they've as if they converted essentially just like a regular classroom into a booth or into like a sound studio. So it's a little bit little bit scrumbly. You do smell immediately upon entering the room the smell of like burnt electronics, which is not a great smell. And you see underneath underneath kind of a like switchboard desk kind of thing. You see a torso and some legs sticking out while somebody like grumbles to themselves.
The mixer station, or I guess whatever it's called.
Yeah. This is one of those things where I didn't do any research before I just wrote an entire thing about a radio station, so I'm making some shit up.
You have a person behind you that knows way more about it.
Yeah, but I can't tell her what's going on in my game because she's in it.
I also don't know anything about radios. That's not.
Well,
what
yeah,
I
but
went
you
to
know
school
what a
for.
sound studio is.
A
I
little
assume. Okay.
I did do the soundboard for a few years.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. Stacy carefully is gonna navigate over the cables and shit while those dumble fucks are chatting outside.
Sure.
One of them's you.
Nudge, shut up. nudge, whoever's under the studio thing.
He sits up and smacks his head on the bottom of the desk. Ah, fuck!
Ooh.
And he slides out from under her and goes, "Can I help you?"
Who is it? Do I recognize them?
I don't know.
From the people I've talked to yet.
I don't know. I don't know if...
Have I talked to this person yet?
Oh, no.
In this
No.
set? Okay.
Why are there two?
Like,
Oh,
if it was-
there are two Bocos. Ah, I see what happened here.
Like if it was Grant, I would recognize him. Is basically what I'm saying. But it's not Grant. It's
Yep.
somebody I haven't talked to in this case yet.
Nope. It's not
Okay.
Grant.
In this case, you haven't talked to them.
If you think Grant would have fucking...
Been working here on
No,
would
I
have
know.
gone on the ground to go underneath something.
No.
That's literally beneath him.
That's true, yeah. Can I help you?
So he says, "Can I help you?" Yeah. Oh, just looking into stuff. You know, what PIs do. You know I'm a PI, right? On the side.
Yeah,
Stacy Beers.
I
PI.
could tell
Yeah.
from your outfit, I guess. Are you looking into the radio accident from last night?
Yeah. Are you part of the club?
Yeah, I'm Ray. I run the switchboard mostly.
Oh, Ray. Yeah. Renee told me about you. I visited her before you, and she was really thankful for what you did.
Oh, good. Is she doing okay?
Yeah, it looks like she'll be fine. Just has a bunch of cuts.
Oh, good.
Hope it doesn't scar her up too bad, but she looked to be in high spirits.
He looks relieved.
Good. That's what I live for. Let's see.
Okay.
Ray Nielsen.
Okay,
What's his
weird.
full name? Yeah. Ray Nielsen, right?
Yes, that's my name.
Okay. Were you here whenever everything went down?
Are you gonna ask him some mystery-related questions?
Oh, yeah, I am. Shut up. Now, Ray is an academic.
Yeah, sure.
Did you pick academic just so you could say that everyone in the school is an
You're
academic?
goddamn right. It's a loophole.
Uh-huh.
If it's all right with you, I'd like to just ask you a couple questions about what went down.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I was here last night. Yeah. What's up? What do you need?
Well, I got that one out of you for free, bozo.
Bozo.
That's the one you told me to
clown!
roll for, and then I got it out of you for free.
All right, go ahead and roll shit.
Fucking really played the game on that one.
I hope you fucking fail. It would be difficult, but not impossible for you.
I hope not. In fact,
so
no.
you have not advanced this, so you still only get 2. But go
I
ahead
know.
and ask your 2 questions.
All right, let me look at the list.
Which are that's the wrong.
I'm looking at them. You don't have to tell me anymore. We're in a new age where I can look at them in my sheet. But I appreciate
I was
you.
gonna read it.
Whoa, aggressive there, Swiss.
What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? And since you're in a room where something happened, you might be able to glean some of this information just by looking around. But Ray can also help you with things that he's seen.
Yeah. So first thing I'm going to get from him is his side of what happened here. So you were here last night. So what exactly did you see?
So let's see here. I didn't really see much of anything, really. I was answering calls for part of the radio show that Renee does. I think it was the third call. I flicked on the switchboard to connect the number, and I saw a bright light from inside the booth, and I smelled burning, and then I heard a scream of pain. I quickly got up and tried to turn the lights back on. When I did, Renee was she was bleeding everywhere, but yeah, the only really thing I saw was that bright flash right before everything happened.
So Soups,
Yep.
can I ask follow-up questions that clarify a question that I already asked, or as long as they don't dip into the others?
Sure.
Okay, so did you hear any sort of buzzing or anything like that? Hear anything weird before that happened?
So there was kind of I don't know if I heard it necessarily. There was kind of this hum in the air that sounded like it was coming from inside the booth.
So it's something you felt rather than heard.
I think so, yeah. And
okay.
So I will let you also, if you want to investigate the room a little bit, I'll give you a bit more about that.
Okay, yeah.
As you kind of glance over at the booth, you can see that there is this. First of all, the smell of burnt electronics is stronger from that direction. You can see that the computer monitor that's in there for Renee to read stuff off of is just exploded.
And the studio
it
that
exploded.
You're talking about is it's an enclosed space, right?
Booth. It's a booth inside the room. Yeah, they've built a booth into part of this room.
And sorry, run that by me one more time. The smell is stronger, closer to it,
and the monitor on the inside is just exploded outwards. It looks like it exploded from the inside out. Which would explain why Renee got covered in glass. And that's all you can really see from here.
Right.
But yeah,
I can hang on to that until I go and look closer.
Yep.
And add more to that. Okay. So, okay. That explains. I was gonna say something. I fucking forgot.
Okay.
Before all that.
At this point, Connor and Wes can wander into the room if they want.
Okay.
And you still got one more question.
Yeah. Let's see.
And again, since you're in a place where you could gather information, this is not necessarily a question you need to ask of him. It's something you could look around for.
Yeah. So I can kind of already glean from what I've seen and heard so far from him that it's localized kind of to the booth area, the damage, right?
Yeah,
the damage everywhere.
The damage doesn't seem to have been anywhere other than the booth.
Okay. So the whole room's not in shambles, fucking Grant, you liar. But it's fine.
No, it looks like some lights might be out on the switchboard, but it looks like those could just be connections that went dead as the things in the booth exploded.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna do what is being concealed here for the room.
Okay.
And if I have to get closer to the booth to do that, then that's fine.
Excellent. I don't know why.
Mind if I go take a look at the booth right quick?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm just gonna be under here. I'm just trying to get everything rewired. Trying to figure out what kind of new equipment we're gonna need to get things back up and running. So he kind of just scoots back under the booth or under the table. And
yeah, I'll put a ad out in the next paper to see if anybody wants to help chip in for that.
Oh, thanks. I really appreciate that.
You got it.
So
She,
as
heads over to the booth.
Stacy starts going towards the booth, this is when West and Connor enter the room. You see her walking over that way.
I bump into Connor and drop all my papers again.
As we're walking in, Connor has somehow gotten incredibly off topic, and he's like, and that's why I just think that the cheese economy has been so sluggish lately.
I asked him how he was.
smacks into Stacy and knocks all the papers down, and his little bowler falls off, and he goes, "My hat."
My hat.
What?
Her hat also flew off.
My hat I was borrowing. We've
No,
got to
my
stop
hat
meeting
also
like
fell
this.
off.
Oh, I see. We've got to stop meeting like this, Stacy. I begin picking up papers from the ground.
She picks him up. Well, she leaves him to that. He can hold on to the notes for a minute and heads over to the booth.
So what is being concealed here is what you said, right?
Yeah.
So as you approach the booth, Connor's probably head down picking up papers, but West also catches this. The light seemed to flicker slightly as you head that way. As you like put your hand on the door, and yeah, you just see the lights inside the booth flicker for like half a second. You might almost think you imagined it.
She turns back for a second. Either you guys see that?
Say what? The
Yeah,
papers?
it looked like the...
I'm grabbing them.
No. Are you talking about the lights flickering? Could just be an electrical issue. Wes says, mostly out of the loop of this so far.
Right.
He just got here. Stacy shrugs, and she
Do you open the
she'll
door?
pop the she'll pop the
Okay.
door.
As you open the door, you see, there's glass all over the floor in here. There's blood. Like a fair amount of blood from Renee's arms and face. Kind of everywhere. There's a chair in here. On the ground amongst all the scattered glass is a headset. There's also a bunch of wires just on the ground here that look mostly fine. The monitor
Is the headset also the microphone, or is there like a separate one?
There is a microphone in front of the in front of the monitor that looks like it is also covered in glass.
Okay.
So yeah, the monitor does appear to, as you can see it closer now, does appear to have like exploded outward.
Right.
And you take a look at the outlet, and the outlet itself doesn't seem to be fried or anything. It only seems like the monitor exploded. It doesn't seem like a breaker blew or something.
Right.
And you hear
And none of the other equipment but the monitor exploded.
Doesn't seem that way.
Okay.
So as you lean into the booth to try to look closer at the outlet and everything, you actually hear a faint moaning noise coming from further back in the booth, kind of where that headset is, the wireless headset is sitting.
Ugh. Chill runs up her spine and she leans back out of the booth real quick. There's some there's definitely something. She remembers there's another party in the room and comes closer to West and Connor. I assume by now the papers are picked up.
Sure.
Have your papers.
Thanks, Watson. She pats him on the bowler hat.
You've got it, Holmes.
She pinches the bridge of her nose. Okay, so I do think there's something going on here supernatural.
Like what?
It's hard to say. There's a noise coming from the headset in there, which is kind of in line with what we heard from Renee. But it's not like a buzz like she was talking about, at least not as far as I can hear from, the distance between my ears up here and the headset on the floor.
Yeah, I would say it was a good probably 3 to 4, 4 to 5 feet away from you. from the door.
Yeah,
It was kind of
but
like
it's
Oh,
it's
it
as
was
if
like-
I took my headphones off now and I can hear your guys' voices faintly.
right. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But it's a moaning. Yeah.
It is also
Um,
worth mentioning it's a wireless headset.
Okay. One thing okay, Stacy's gonna go back in there.
Okay. Stacy goes
Is
back in after
the-
telling this to you.
Yeah, she assumes they're
Connor, like,
coming.
pokes
she's
his
she's
head in.
assuming they're coming to hear it. My bad. West will follow too.
Yeah, you can
Just
all
kinda
you can all hear kind of like a
curious.
faint kind of growl-ish sound coming from like the direction of the headphones.
So another clarification question for the what's concealed here. Is the monitor that exploded an all-in-one monitor, or is there a separate computer?
It looks like it is wired actually to a computer in the main room. The actual
Okay.
computer isn't kept in here because booths get real hot.
Gotcha. Is that computer on?
It looks like it is actually turned off right now as you look at it, because because Ray is like working on some of the cables and stuff and didn't want to like fuck something up. It actually looks like the computer is unplugged.
She will see the plug not in a socket of any kind. Yeah, exactly as I thought. So these are wireless headphones. But what are they connected to if we're hearing this?
The air.
So, against her better judgment, because things have exploded when these have been worn. She'll,
Connor leans in closer. Is it the 5Gs?
Actually, she'll turn to Connor. Hey, Connor, you're kind of durable.
Ha!
Yeah, usually. That's
about-
what my dad always said.
You want to pick those up for me? The headphones?
Oh, sure. He bends over and picks them up.
All right. As soon as you pick them up, you. Let me think here. Why don't you? Let me see here. Let me check some numbers real quick. I mean the numbers.
Let's throw
Mason.
some numbers at you.
The numbers, Mason. I just need to remember what some of these moves do because it's been a minute since we've used a lot of them. Nope, that's the keeper sheet. Keep rolling the wrong one.
Let me retcon a little bit, and
Yep.
this isn't relevant to what you're looking up, but
I don't think
Stacy
this-
passed the papers, the report in progress to Wes, so he can read it over and get up to speed.
Okay, cool. So I don't think this will be a rule yet. So as you pick up the headphones, you can feel like as your hand gets close to it, some sort of like hum coming from them, if that makes sense. Like it feels like, I don't know, you know the old like fucking CRT TVs, that little static you got if you put your hands next to them?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like that.
Huh.
Huh?
That's not normal. Well, it sounds like one of them old tube TVs. You know, the ones that you need if you want to play N64 properly?
Time and place, Watson.
Oh god. I'm huge, hold on.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
But yeah, so yeah, you feel this like static like feeling coming from them before you pick them up.
And then what happens?
Is he picking them up? I assume. Yes.
Yeah, he picks them up.
Okay.
He's
He
no
was told to. He's
coward.
not gonna be a bitch.
Okay, so you pick up the headphones and
Instantly die.
this will be a good cliffhanger. You pick up the headphones and you see something flash, and the lights in the booth go out for a second, and in front of you you see a terrifying spectral visage like emerge from the headphones. It looks like it looks kind of like, you know, ghost like. There is a what was it? Sorry, just completely blanked. there is a like kind of a tail of a ghost going back into the headphones. The torso of a, you know, that one ghost guy that what Ghost Freak, I think, from Ben 10. This is a reference for
Yeah.
only me and Josh.
Hang
I
on,
think.
let me look it up. No, I used to watch Ben 10.
nah,
I'll know him once I
people-
see him. Ah,
Ghost
that
Freak,
guy.
yeah. The fucker, man. Yeah.
That dude.
Very similar looking to that, and kind of electrocutioning. Yeah, that appears in front of you, and it makes
In front of all of us or just Connor?
all of you. You can all see it,
Oh, okay.
and that is where we will leave off.
And Connor just goes,
Yep. So nice. Also knows Ben 10. Do I not have a? I don't have a Boko button on here. That's fine. We'll just hit this button.
Buck and
All right. Well, that will do it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night. We'll catch you tomorrow for I, the Somnium Files. Bye.
That's
Oh,
Abominum Piles.
I don't have emotes set up for this Boko model. It's an older one. Shit. Bye.
Whoops.